Hello, welcome back to the Watford Way. You can see I'm in a slightly different setting today. I'm downstairs in my living room because I want to run you through some of my Watford FC memorabilia that I've collected over the past 10 or so years. So to give you some context as to when I started going regularly to Watford matches, I've been going my entire lifetime from a very, very small child to now as a fully grown adult, but regularly I started going to Watford back in around 2014, 2015 is when I first got my season ticket. I originally started down in the lower Graham Taylor stand towards kind of the family stand side of the stadium. I've since moved up to the upper Graham Taylor where I have a lovely view just to the right hand side of the halfway line. So I'm very, very lucky as to where I sit. And being a Watford fan for that long, I've of course collected many programmes and shirts over my time supporting the Hornets. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you here today. Right, so the first thing I'm going to show you today is kind of the centerpiece of the table that I've arranged here. And that is, of course, the newly acquired signed shirt. I made a community post about this a few weeks ago, so some of you might know already that I did acquire this. But we actually won this shirt through a competition via one of Watford's sponsors, Spread X Sports. And they run competitions where you essentially have to guess in each match which minute Watford will score the first goal. And luckily, one of my family members guessed it correctly for the Leeds game where Kwadwo Bar scored, I think, in the 47th minute. So luckily for us, we won this signed shirt, which is the latest addition to my Watford memorabilia collection. And I'll just zoom in actually so you guys can maybe make out these signatures a little bit clearer. I think down here we've got Daniel Jefferson, number 18, moving a bit further up. Over here we have what I believe to be Musa Sissoko. Over here we have Tom Cleverley, I believe, as well. But other than them that I've just highlighted, to be totally honest, they do all just look like scribbles. They are very, very hard to make out. But I think some of you guys may have slightly more knowledge than me in regards to player signatures. So if you can recognize any more here, do let me know in the comment section. Moving on now to the two favourite programmes that I currently own, one of which, of course, you can see here is the Emirates FA Cup final programme, Watford versus Manchester City. £10 I paid for that. What an absolute rip-off. But yes, certainly worth it for the experience. And of course, this is the most important match that I've ever attended in my lifetime as a Watford fan. We were so close to picking up that trophy. Of course, the game in the end ended in quite a heavy defeat. But to have this programme as a memory from that day is something I really, really value. So that is certainly one of the favourite programmes that I own in my collection. And moving on actually to the programme next to that, and this is on more of a sad, emotional note, but this programme was actually produced for a friendly Watford had on the day that we unveiled Graham Taylor's statue that now sits outside Vicarage Road. I think it was Watford versus Real Sociedad actually on the day that the friendly was held. And yeah, this programme was produced to show and highlight the process of what went into making this statue, of course, that now sits proudly outside the Hornet shop on Vicarage Road. So in terms of programmes that I own, these two are definitely up there in my most cherished, absolutely. Lastly, before I move upstairs, I just want to talk about my matchday programme collection, because what you can see here on the table is just a small selection of what I've chosen to lay out for you guys to see today. And I was very fortunate that two of my family members were hospitality season ticket holders for quite a few years, until just before COVID times actually. And as part of their package and as part of their perks, they always used to receive a matchday programme before each fixture during their hospitality, of course. And I used to wait outside where the Horizons Lounge is now in Vicarage Road for them to come out, and they would always hand me some of their matchday programmes. This is one here. You can see a very random fixture, Watford versus Bristol City back in 2017 in the Carabao Cup, and they always used to come with a team sheet as well, which is always very, very interesting. Over here again, you can see another Watford programme binder, this time for a Premier League fixture. Yunus Kabul on the front of that one there, Watford versus Leicester City back in 2016, that one. So you can see my program's already down here, nearly going back 10 years. So yeah, very, very fortunate to have just this small sample size here on the table to show you. I've got much more upstairs as well for you to see in just a moment. But yes, I'm very, very happy with my collection, and hopefully I can add more to it in the coming months and years ahead. Right, so this is what I would call my Watford wall, and we're actually in the room where I record the majority of my previews and reactions for the Watford way. And we'll probably start here from left to right, actually moving along in chronological order from when these are actually all acquired. And we'll start over here with probably my favourite Watford player of all time, thanks to his wonderful celebration there pointing to the sky, Odion Ighalo. Now, I don't know why I had such a close affinity to Ighalo. I don't know why I idolised him so much when I was growing up, really, but I always just felt a close connection to him as a player. I loved his trademark Iggy Scoop, as it was called at the time, and this piece itself I think was actually acquired when I was about 15 or 16, or maybe even 14 potentially, during Christmas time. I think it was around the time Ighalo moved on to Changchun Yatai in the Chinese Super League, when we sold him in the January of the 2016-17 season. But yeah, Odion Ighalo, certainly in probably my top 2 or 3 Watford players of all time in my lifetime. Moving down here, a bit of a random one. I don't actually remember how I acquired this, or actually even the year it was from. If I was to take a guess, I would probably say this signed squad frame was maybe from the 16-17 season under Walter Mazzarri, which was, to be honest, quite a miserable time. Yes, we were in the Premier League, but his football wasn't the most entertaining. And I think Watford survived just by 3 points or so on the final days. So yeah, quite a precarious season, that one for Watford under Walter Mazzarri. Can you guys make out any of them signatures there? Again, to me, I think that might be Nathaniel Chalobah there, number 14. But other than that, a lot of them do look like scribbles to me. Moving down, just above my radiator here, keeping me warm, is Bobby P, Roberto Pereira, the Argentinian magician. Yeah, a fantastic player, really, really impressive. He wasn't around at the club for too long, but on his day, he was really, really good to watch. He scored a great goal against Chelsea that I remember very fondly, penalty against Arsenal as well, and all round just a classy, classy player. I think he moved back over to Udinese after he left Watford, but I'm not entirely sure where Bobby P is at now. For all I know, he could have actually retired from football altogether. Next up is, of course, Troy Deeney, the main man. Apologies about the reflection of me. There's not a lot too much I can do about that. But yeah, Troy Deeney, look, he's got to be up there in terms of the greatest Watford players of all time. I do think sometimes he potentially does speak slightly too much in the media, and slightly has tarnished his Watford legacy, perhaps, with the things he's said. But you can see the kit he's wearing there, actually, as I mentioned, the same as Ighalo, actually, from the 15-16 season. Both of them that year, I think, hit double figures in the Premier League and were really a duo to be reckoned with. Troy Deeney very nearly earning himself an England call-up, actually, when Sam Allardyce was in charge for that brief spell of time as well. So yes, very happy to have this signed photo of Troy Deeney in the collection. Moving down just above my radiator to a player who you guys will recognise as the current Watford FC manager, and that is Tom Cleverley. Of course, there, as we mentioned earlier, with Walter Mazzarri wearing the kit from the 16-17 season. Tom Cleverley, of course, I can't give the guy enough praise, really. You know, a professional guy, speaks very, very well in the media, and was a really great player for Watford. Of course, he had a previous spell with us when I was much younger, and then joined from us permanently from Everton in that second spell, up until he retired, became, of course, the manager of the 18s, and is now the full-time Watford head coach, which shows how quickly times can change. And probably the favourite piece of my collection, as you can see here, clearly is the shirt that has my surname on the back. It was gifted to me for my 18th birthday. As you can see, happy 18th, Watford FC. And actually, before I talk about this shirt, quick shout out to Kit Aid here at the top, who are a really fantastic charity. If you guys have any old Watford kit that you no longer use, Kit Aid send that all around the world to Africa, South America, Asia as well, places that need football kits for kids to feel like they belong to something, really. So yeah, a fantastic charity, Kit Aid, and you can see there the website www.kitaid.net is where you can go to see more information. But yeah, this was gifted to me by my parents for my 18th birthday. Signatures there from everyone as part of the Emirates FA Cup final 2018-19 squad. And yeah, very, very happy to have that one in my collection. And that is essentially my Watford wall, which yeah, I'm very, very happy with. And before we end the video, I just wanted to show this man who was born and bred in Watford. This is from AJ versus Andy Ruiz Jr. 100 of these pieces were produced. I've got number 25, as you can see there in the corner. Signed photo from Anthony Joshua. I've met AJ once as well. I went to his weigh-in at the O2 with Alexander Usyk. And I've got a very terrible photo actually with AJ, which yeah, I'm quite embarrassed about. So I won't put that on screen for you now, but I thought this was relevant because, of course, AJ loves Watford as an area. He was born here. He's invested lots of money here into various charities. Also murmurings a few months ago about a potential investment into Watford FC from him as well. But yeah, AJ as a piece there, very, very happy to have that in my collection. And that is where we will end the video for today. Thank you very much for watching this slightly different piece of content here on the channel. I hope you really, really enjoyed seeing my Watford FC memorabilia collection, plus the bonus bit of Anthony Joshua in the end there as well. Don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a like in the video, and let me know what you guys have in your collections in the comment section down below. We'll be back with our usual content very, very soon. But aside from that, enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, we'll see you again very shortly. Bye-bye.